Next Wednesday, June 16th, marks the start of Death Metal, an event that was delayed by about a month and change from its original schedule, but it's definitely something DC's been leading up to for quite a long time. This was a continuation of the original Metal event, but some would argue a lot of the seeds were planted even before that with Scott Snyder's work on Batman. We saw issues in his Justice League run. We saw the Hell Arisen from earlier in the year, and kind of it all ended in this big cliffhanger. So we're going to do some recaps, but I wanted to kind of lay out the schedule and let you know what's coming. Hey, everybody, this is Perch. And as we get close to Death Metal, I think there's some things to look forward to. I'm going to be doing a series with Wes over at Thinking Critical. And we're going to kind of, for those of us who have had this gap in comics, we want to remind you of where things were and how it teed up to this, and basically kind of set the stage, remind people where comics are at so we can get back into them again and really get things moving. But so this video is kind of a precursor to that. This is just a look ahead at the next several months between now and basically February, where we're getting the Death Metal run of 7 issues and kind of the different tie-ins, what we know, when we can expect it, and everything else. This is just kind of laying the stage of the schedule. And I want to point out here, just for reference, this is me pulling art and comments from what I've seen on the internet. This isn't anything official by DC, of course, but the information is reliable from today, June 11th, as we head into this thing. But of course, changes might occur. Nobody at DC helped me with any of this other than just posting the information that I then grabbed. So, this is just meant to help you kind of see what's coming. So, as I mentioned, in June 16th, it kicks off with Death Metal #1. There will be a variety of variant covers. Scott Snyder, Greg Capullo. This is where the event is coming. And so, it's expected definitely, if you haven't read Hell Arisen, some of his Justice League work, the original Metal, there's probably going to see some things that are confusing to you. I think the comment was made that you could come into this thing cold without reading the previous issues, but I can't reasonably see how that would be. But hey, we'll find out. I'm sure there will be some recaps in there to catch people up. Then 1 month later, July 14th, we get Death Metal #2. And this is kind of continuing right on, again, variant covers, other things. And then in August, on the 11th, we get Death Metal #3. But before that, on the August the 4th, we get Death Metal Legends of the Dark Knight. And then on August 18th, we get the Death Metal Guidebook. So 3 issues in 1 month, kind of, and it's expected that issue 3 is supposed to provide some big moments that will basically lead up to a skip month. So in September, we do not get Death Metal #4. Instead, we get 3 one-shot tie-ins. We get the Trinity Crisis. This is written by Scott Snyder, art by Francis Manapool. This is on September 8th. Then a couple weeks later, we get Speed Metal by Joshua Williamson, art by Eddie Barros, Ever Ferreira. And this is September 22nd. This is supposed to give us some indication of what's going on with The Flash. Wally West is on the front of the cover in his new Dr. Manhattan meets Mobius chair version. And then on September 29th, we get Multiverse's End. And this is written by James Tynion IV, art by Juan Guedon. And this is, again, promising to kind of dive into more of the multiverse in general. In October, we pick back up with Death Metal #4 on October 13th. And then in November, we get Death Metal #5. Now, this is where we're not sure exactly when these things are going to land, but there's a couple specials, 2 specials that were kind of announced and rolled out. One that is called Robin King, and the other that is called The Last 52. So in November, we may be getting one. It may come earlier in October, may come in December. We're not quite sure when we're getting them, but I'm listing them here as the order that they were presented, which leads us to December. We don't have a firm date for the November or the December. It's just in November or December, but we can kind of predict mid-month based on everything else. And that's where we get maybe this Last 52, or maybe they fall in different places. And then finally, the whole thing ends in January, and there's promised to be a Death Metal special or specials. It wouldn't be surprised to see these things bloom. And again, we don't have a date, but mid-January feels like a pretty safe bet based on what usually ships in January and the shipping schedule so far. Now, throughout October through January, some additional crossovers are expected. We've heard word that there will be something, but we haven't really seen anything that's announced. We could probably make some logical guesses that something involving Wonder Woman seems like a safe bet since she's going to be more highlighted in this series. But it seems like there will be some other crossovers or things, whether they go into the normal titles or whether they're treated as more one shots. Hard to say, but expect more titles to be announced as we go. And then finally, in January, we get to a new status quo. Maybe it's a new number one, maybe it's not, but some newness happens in February as the events of death metal kind of come to a close, and we left with the new normal. So that's in February. We expect to be at whatever DC's new status quo is at. And that's our shipping schedule. That's our basic summary of where we're going with all this stuff. So, as I said, quick little video just designed to kind of give you an update on the schedules, when things are coming out. Very curious, are you going to buy this? Is this something you're interested in? Has your interest been piqued? Do some of these crossovers, additional titles, whet your interest? Let me know in the comments below. Like, subscribe, introduce to a friend. Just trying to put out the factual news of what's going on. And here it is. If you have any questions, certainly you can put it in the comments below, but you can also follow me on Twitter or Facebook at Comic Perch, or mail me at comics with an S, Perch at Gmail. Please introduce to a friend. Most importantly, hey, thanks for listening. Thanks for reading.